economic status where we can teach about those things. That's one other question I had in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Who will be the next questioner or commentator? Please feel free. आप वहाँ से बोल सकते?
आइए आप आइए.
ना, can we not send some microphone there? अच्छा आइए इधर.
It's been a very good forum and very good to come here. So thank you everybody.
Your name?
I'm Ajay Kapoor. I'm Professor Ajay Kapoor from Australia. My question is, I have a couple of points there. As Nawab Saab said, that education is what country made India. As I remember, I left India in 1984, and there was a time I was in England that many times you get taken for granted, like people would think that you are not well educated, you are not actually going to do a good job there. But when the IT came, that perception changed. I again thought a very good example that Nawab Sahab you took, that we have very many 5-star hotels, very few 2-star hotels. I'm in education myself, and the same thing I started to think. And what I'm noticing is that we have got very good institutes like IITs. We produce very good graduates. They are very highly in demand. But when I come, I find a big gap. That lower level of skills, we are not actually training people very well for that. Skills Council, that thing that you mentioned, and Dalbir Singh Saab, that's a very nice initiative. How are we going to implement that? That was my big question. I looked into that. I think the plans are to train about 500 million people. How are we going to develop that whole thing? What are the plans of government to involve, let's say, people like us, institutes from other countries? I know that some other countries like Australia have got very good TAFE sector. They do that job very, very well. So that was my question for you.
Thank you.
The entire format of National Skill Development Corporation works on the premise that it is government's commitment to ensure that we reach the target of training 500 billion people by 2022. And we plan to achieve that target by a very innovative scheme in which the government is going to use its own internal infrastructure in training 150 million people. 350 million people are going to be trained through public-private participation, through joint ventures, involving industry, involving the civil society, involving the community-based organizations, for which the government has made provision for resources which will be given to them at a highly subsidized rate. And we are also in collaboration with an industry, because after all, the end user is the industry, whether it's the manufacturing sector, the services sector, they are the one who need skilled manpower. Firstly, we need a huge amount of skilled manpower in India, skilled and semi-skilled. And we are in touch with FICCI, CII, PhD Chamber of Commerce, and all other industry and commerce-based organizations and trading associations. So they are going to give feedback to the government. And this feedback is going to be classified sector-wise, okay? Because till now in India, what we had a concept of Industrial Training Institute, ITIs, and they were set up in 50s and 60s, we recollect. And I attended a seminar with CII. They had offered to the government 4 years ago that let us set up one ITI in every when you left India.
My name is Sudarshan Khurana and I'm from USA. I'm not an awardee here, but my wife is being honored for that, but I happen to be an escort to her for that matter. But anyway, my question is, I'm also by profession an engineer in mechanical and aerospace. I'm an inventor. I had several patents. But the point my coming to is that I came up with an idea that I wanted to have my device being made in this country. And I spent so much of time, so much of money, but I was so unfortunate that I had to go to China to get that made because we did not have that, the precisionness that we need to have that thing for made in this country, and wasted time, a year or so, and money, of course, with that, and very unsuccessful. How can you bring this thing into this country here so I don't have to go to China to get that thing made? Bring that talent here, train your people, get some machinery, things that can be made to uplift this country. That was my question. Do you have that kind of thing that you could bring in India? Thank you.
Dr. Satish Batra.
Well, it's a very valid question which you have put in. See, aerospace and especially now the future in India lies in manufacturing, and it has already started because when you look at Boeing and also Airbus, they are already looking into certain possibilities of having of offset works over here, and also HAL in Bangalore, as you know, they are the leading persons over there. But still, there is a gap to be filled up. It will take time. China got all those facilities because Airbus had set up a manufacturing unit over there. And there has been a lot of technology transfer, not only just from engineering point of view, also from material point of view, and also for the continuity of their business for the rest of the world. So I think we are in the phase, as you know, a lot of things are happening in India, and especially the last 3 months, the manufacturing has again gained up, because there was a time about 6 months back, 7 months back, we were lacking on manufacturing in India, but this gap is being filled up. So it's a question of time, but India is on the move, and don't think that it will only be China. Also, India is going to be the hub. For example, aluminium welding, as you know, it's a very professional thing. And now a company close to Mumbai has already got an order from Boeing to get into the products and also into aluminium welding. So there are certain specialists coming in and also having this kind of experience. So it's a question of time.
I agree with you there. I am aware of all those advances being taken and steps being taken. And I approached Tata to come up with this kind of solution to my problem. And they kind of declined, and that was in USA I'm talking about. It was kind of declined that don't have that kind of expertise to those sort of, they did not show much interest. So if you start taking the steps like that, negative aspect of it, rather than encouraging, all right, give me a chance, and that's the positive side that China is that they say, all right, give me a chance, I'm ready to do it for you. They fail it, they do it second time. They don't have this kind of thing. And I'm just trying to encourage that, how can we bring up the positive aspect of this challenge that we are facing, and hopefully sometime in the near future can achieve that. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Who will be the next volunteer? Mr. Shukla, please.
Thank you very much. Actually, there have been very many powerful speakers, and before me, I have a very brief comment about the founding father of this organization, who cared about the non-residents Indians. We have been largely ignored, but I did not know of this society. And actually I was moved when I got this honor that I would be getting Hind Ratan Award. For the last 5 years, I have won more than 20 awards in the Western world, the most prestigious one, and the first Indian to become the member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences in the class of physics, which recognizes your highest achievements and honors you with the Nobel Prize. India has been independent for more than 65 years, 65th Republic Day. I would have liked that in free India, someone gets Nobel Prize in physics, in chemistry, in medicine, the highest recognition of my motherland, in which I was born in free India. I was 21 when I got my doctorate from Banaras University 1, and I moved to Sweden. I did not know where I'm going. I did not know what I will do in that part of the world. And as Nawab Sahab said, that word is tough. You have to stand that they respect you. And this you have to show through your work. There have been many times tears in my eyes when I was honored in the US, I was honored in UK, I was honored in Sweden. But let me tell you one thing, the honor and recognition to the excellence at mother country is very special to all of us, those who have been awarded by this society. And this is the moment when eyes usually get wet and thoughts are speechless, because I don't know what you say. You have left your home when you are very young, yet there are very many professionals in this country who look at your merit and excellence, and they appropriately honor you. At least they just recognize what our children, what our sisters, what our daughters were doing abroad, what they did, what they accomplished. Same thing like the story of Nawab Sahab. I have so high regard for him. Moving up, we have to generate our own wealth. I left India with 56 rupees, 3 pounds. It is possible to emerge as a scientist, the son of Mother India, and then keep the flag high at the same level as anybody in the Western society. And the bottom line is, there is no need for an Indian to leave the mother country. It's very tough. When you are in my age bracket, you see many social disorder because your children are not the same as you'd like to see, because you practice in your value of our India is a rich, culture, 5,000 year olds. This is the kind of blood which is basically flowing in our nerves. So I would request the government of India, if Prime Minister Manmohan Singh would have been here, I would request him, try to get those smart Indians back. There are many smart Indians here. India has progressed without us. It is on the march. But please give an opportunity to those Indians who have lived abroad. If they are willing to contribute to their motherland, let the country evolve. Use those expertise, because they have a lot of expertise and they can build the mother India. And I can assure you that many people in the Western world, they would just follow to do those kind of research with us in India, on Indian soil, and I tell you, they would never go back to their home country. They might probably some very beautiful Indian woman here, as somebody said about the, woman, and they would then prefer to live here. See, because we have basically everything, our culture, our tolerance, there's no aggressiveness, This is what we enjoy. I'm the first Indian, who is the member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. I have broken their symmetry because there are only 60 members. They all are blonde. I'm colored. So I broke their symmetry due to my color. And I was anonymously voted in the first round. I was elected then to the Engineering Academy in Stockholm, where I met the king. You meet the king of Sweden only once. When you get the Nobel Prize, you go. And he had invited us to host the foreign members. And then I went and greeted him, and I spoke in German with him. And he said, well, you speak pretty good German, because he also speaks German. His wife is German. So these are some moments, getting recognition in the US, in America, when I got the Nicholson Medal for Human Outreach in physics, I was the first Indian to be elected, by Americans. And when I met the president, and he looked at me, I was 55 those days, he said, my goodness, you are an Indian man. He thought that I'm a German man, and they are, honoring a German man. He said, how could you do all these things in Germany? They are very conservative, you see. I said, well, you should have the willpower to do something, to mentor people, bring people, to Germany, give your knowledge to them, because this is what, the country will, basically what a country needs, education, then the knowledge, and the know-how, how you can do things by ourselves. We have not to buy something from outside and let them teach us, We have not to produce engineers. We have not to produce, for example, doctors, to import outside. And when they go outside, work like a slave. Because always remember, here in your country, you can be your boss. Very few succeed who are their bosses. And, we are living in a different kind of democratic society than the democratic society in which we are living in India. I keep coming. I go to my village. I speak Bhojpuri when I go in the village. The guy who sells me the sabji, he could never recognize that I have gone outside and have lived for so many years, yet not forgotten my roots, my values. And let me tell you one thing, we should be very proud of being an Indian. Indian people are very smart, very clever. In a very difficult situation, they can achieve something, and they can demonstrate that this is possible to go from a village. It's a long journey. At the age of 21, in the search of new knowledge, I was told by a Nobel laureate in physics, Alfvén, he said, let me tell you one thing, you young man, I was 21 then, every knowledge which you will create in Europe, you will be creating this knowledge, because he lived in our country for 6 months and he taught people here. So I think we should just admire how, rich this nation is, And let me tell you one thing, that nobody should leave home to go to live outside. I have lost my 41 years of youth. I did a lot of work. I do not know whether I would have done all this science, but what I have done, using my Indian mind power on German soil, I did this science, which I share with people from all over the world, and that was my treasure. There was no boundary regardless of religion, or race, or anything. I have lots of students, hundreds of students from all over the world, different kind of faith. I just mentored them, sitting with them, and told them what we did, what I knew, and they knew. They went and propagated this knowledge in their own country. And this should be the spirit. So I would urge those who are powerful here, reverse brain drain, bring some smart ones who are really willing to serve the nation, and create this, generate the younger generation, labor force here for India, not for outside, you see. And that would be actually a message which I would like to pass on, you see.
Thank you very much. All I can say is that India is proud of you, proud of Indians like you. Now you said about, India should create conditions so that, non-resident Indians should come back. Why should they come back? The whole world is theirs. But India remains the base.
But that is, but the point is that you should get, labor force here, Indians.
Now I didn't know what is forcing you. Anybody.
I'm saying that this is the kind of India which I would like.
Yes.
Many Nobel laureates, emerging from this world, from this soil.
Yeah.
I could come, I could get this honor here. Many countries. There have been nine Indians who have been outside. Most of them have been the British Raj. And some of the Nobel laureates in chemistry, they have lived outside. Well, this is my vision.
Sure. Thank you. The next intervener.
Mr. Akhilesh. Mr. Malhotra, you after Mr. Akhilesh. You come, Akhilesh.
Mr. Khurana, you have a very good query. I'm basically an engineer come scientist in alternate energy. You have a query that you're working and in aerospace engineering, and you have a lot of inventions in that particular part. Many of my ex-IITians from CL, they are also working on the same particular kind of thing, and they're looking somebody from overseas for the joint venture to go ahead in this particular program in aerospace engineering. And they were very drastically looking from last so many years. Ex-IITians, almost 84-year batch. So India is an amazing country. You get every solution over here, but the reach and the communication gap, what we have. And I am requesting all of you people from different country to be a part of this NRI meet and make a strong communication with our talents across India. I have a number of patents and products that I have already invented in last couple of years. Worldwide, we have a good market. Everything is amazing. I came back from US in 2007. After that, I just working in this particular part in alternate energy solutions. Even from rural area to very high rich people, place like Delhi, place like Bombay or USA, we have very good alternate solutions for everybody. Even if you are interested, you can talk to those fellows with our team on this particular part. Thank you.
Thank you, Akhilesh. Mr. Malhotra, please.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries. Thank you for having me here. My name is Suraj Malhotra. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm not here to talk. I believe we are all proud Indians. We love our country. We always loved our country, and we will love our country. So I just want to say and share a few words of, as a human, of human emotions and emotions about NRIs like us. Respected dignitaries, a few points. I'll start with Mr. Nawab, a very successful businessman, entrepreneur. I appreciate that. I respect that. It's all hard work, his knowledge. Many things he said about the business world. I'm from the business background, industrialist family from New Delhi itself, Bharat Tools. And I left India just because of my own emotions, not for money, not for success, not for any job opportunity, but to be a good human. And that's what I tried to do. 23 years I've been in Toronto, Canada. I'm involved in social work. I'm involved politically and involved in spirituality, in multi-faith organizations. And all I do is live like a good human. So what I would say, just one point, sir, with due respect to you. You mentioned, and I do agree to that, I won't contradict, that Lakshmi, if Lakshmi is happy with you, she keeps you happy. Yes, sir. I was born in a multi-million-dollar family. Lakshmi was never a problem. And I saw money, I saw wealth. I still live good. Lakshmi is there. But I still value human iman, the character, the soul. Money we all need as much as we spend, as you all know. That's all we know. I can wear a $10 Walmart suit and still feel great. I can wear an Armani suit and feel great. So money we all need, sir, as much as we spend. but money never makes us a good human. I think money corrupts us. And that's the problem in India, corruption. We all know that. That's where we are wrong. I respect Mr. Dalbir Singh ji here, very educated person, and I was surprised we have such educated and polished politicians in India. Because I had no idea like that. I was a part of politics in '77 when emergency was declared. I was running as a youth leader for Janata Party in Vajpayee's constituency, and we did everything because under emergency, as being a politician, you know, like there were no party workers available for the opposition because everybody was scared shit of Congress, right? So I did Bhukartals, I did Jalus, you know, in that time. Fortunately, my father used to also tell me, like, you're doing wrong. The first thing you'll be picked up is CBI. You know, you're going against the ruling party. I said, I don't care. When it comes to humanity, I don't care. So I'll do where I see fairness and justice. I want fairness in our country. I want humanity to survive in our country. That's why I fought. But later on, I thought, like, politics is in fact politics in the end. All same, right? So when we mention China, success of China, of course, those even shoelaces in the world, you go any country, made in China, right? Why? Because the politician is communist country. There's no corruption there. That's why made in China, everything's made in China. The thing that stops us here, I do agree with the success of India. We are far ahead in many, many ways. Why? Not because of the government, I would say. It's because of the individuals in India, like Tatas, Birlas. They made this country. Like other skilled people, educated people in India, even they made other countries stronger. Like Professor Shukla here. It's sad, and where he came from, Professor Shukla, respect his emotions, that 41 years of his life is sacrificed. Why? It's a big question. Why? Why he couldn't do this in India? What stopped him? Even Mr. Nawab himself mentioned he tried to do so much great work in Lucknow, our hometown. A respected, educated, successful entrepreneur. Why not? Why he failed? Why he doesn't want to do? But I'll close up. We've been spending more time listening to everybody, so I won't take much time. I can keep talking and talking for hours. I have so much emotions. Point one, if we can do something in the political scenario in India, if we can have more educated people like Mr. Dalbir Singh. I'm impressed with him. I don't know him personally, but I can feel, he's very, very knowledgeable person, as we all can tell, right? We need educated people, better humans. Look at our MLAs, what we hear about them. What is the education background? What kind of people are we choosing as our politicians? They are stopping us. India had been great always. I still remember my history. India, the golden bird. That's why even Britishers came here. India has all the resources, had all the resources, have all the resources, will have all the resources, all the infrastructure. Indian people are great. There's nothing wrong anywhere. But only thing that I personally see, I may be wrong. I don't say I'm right, right? You can never be always right. But all we need is good, educated humans in our political structure. Humans, our leaders, who lead us, our country. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir, please.
I think we are always, all of us ready for the lunch, so I will not take any more moments. I just will take about 30 minutes for me. Oh, I'm sorry. I will take that. I just have one question. Before I come here, to be honestly, I was not aware of this Hindarton Award because I did not get one. None of my friends or people got one, so I did not know it. So I searched a lot of things and then learned about it. My only one question is that in this age of IT and database, I was thinking, why don't we have NRI society database where we can list all the people who are getting or got in the past, his name, profession, expertise, a small brief database, an email and the phone number, so that people who live in India, if they want to go to say Canada for a practice in law, they can right away go to the website and find who are the Indians living there, and they can get some suggestions and help. Mind it, this association is a bridge between the residents and the non-residents. So how do I build the bridge? We will come here, take the award, go back, forget everything. How can we help the people in India who can take our expertise and knowledge based on the database? So I would strongly recommend that somebody would be here who will in charge of the database and update it according we change. People move from place to place, change profession, change university. So as a professor, I feel database is very much essential. I would strongly recommend it that sometimes somebody would build the database to help the people who live in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now I request Mr. Neeraj Jain, our International Secretary from Hong Kong, to say a few words.
सभी लोगों को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं हांगकांग से हूँ, चाइना चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स में इंडियन कंसल्टेंट हूँ, और पिछली बार भी मैंने देखा था कि चाइना के बारे में सब लोगों को बड़ी भ्रांति है। मैं वहाँ पर 4th टाइम विदाउट इलेक्शन हमारी एसोसिएशन का वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बना हूँ। 30% वहाँ गवर्नमेंट जो फॉर्म है वो हिंदी में छपते हैं। आप कोई भी जगह कहीं भी जाइए, इंडियन अगर अपनी बदमाशी करता है तो वो रिवेंज लेते हैं। यहाँ पर अभी जितने भी लोगों से सुना चाइना के बारे में, मैं ये कहता हूँ कि बिल्कुल क्लियर कट उनकी पॉलिसी है। वो कंप्लीट आपकी ईमानदारी पर काम करते हैं। उनकी हर चीज़ फॉरवर्ड वेबसाइट पर निकलती है। 2030 में एयरपोर्ट बनना है, उसके लिए अभी अनाउंसमेंट हो गया है। आपके सजेशन आप वहाँ दे सकते हैं। पता नहीं क्यों, या तो लोग सुनते हैं किसी से या कहीं से गलत भ्रांतियाँ आ जाती हैं तो वो चाइना को गलत ठहराते हैं। आप जिस लोगों को भी चाइना से प्रॉब्लम है, आप मेरे को लिख, तो वो चाइना को गलत ठहराते हैं। आप जिस लोगों को भी चाइना से प्रॉब्लम है, आप मेरे को लिख कर दीजिए, मैं सॉल्व करके दूंगा और मैं फाइंड आउट करके बताऊंगा कि गलती चाइनीज़ की है या इंडियंस की है। इंडियंस लोगों को अभी आपने देखा ओलंपिक के अंदर में लंदन में एक लड़की इंडियन बीच में ही घुस गई। फिर जब दूसरे लोग उनको पकड़ते हैं तो बाद में कहते हैं इंडियन से बदतमीजी का व्यवहार करते हैं। इंडिया के अंदर में आप सब यहाँ एनआरआई बैठे हैं, कितने लोगों को मालूम है कि इंडियन एनआरआई आदमी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड और फार्म हाउस खरीद सकता है या नहीं? 70-80% लोगों ने खरीद लिए या उनको मालूम नहीं है। भारतीय रिजर्व बैंक के अनुसार कोई भी एनआरआई फार्म हाउस एग्रीकल्चर लैंड नहीं खरीद सकता। इवन वो अपने पैसों को गिफ्ट पे भेजे फादर को, और फादर भी उस एग्रीकल्चर लैंड खरीद के और उसको गिफ्ट नहीं कर सकते। ये नॉलेज का हमारे को इतना अभाव है। मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं गुरिंदर सिंह जी को कि मैं जब से इनसे जुड़ा, मैंने बहुत सारी बातें एनआरआई और गुरिंदर सिंह से सीखी। आपको मालूम है एनआरआई आदमी अगर इंडिया आता है तो कितने हजार रुपए तक उसकी गोल्ड की वैल्यू अलाउ है, उसको गोल्ड का आइटम ला सकता है। सिर्फ आदमी 10,000 रुपये और लेडीज 20,000 रुपये। इवन आपने एक सिंगल रिंग भी पहन रखी है तो उस पर भी वो अलाउ नहीं है 30,000 रुपये से लाने के लिए। ये सूचना मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा गुरिंदर सिंह जी को कि इनकी वजह से हमको जानने को मिली और मैंने आपको यहाँ डिस्क्लोज। कहीं भी पूरे इंडिया के अंदर में 30,000 रुपये से कोई भी तरह की ज्वेलरी गिफ्ट की हो या कैसी भी हो, आप इंडिया नहीं ला सकते। हर तरीके से एनआरआई को जो समझने का तरीका है वो यहाँ की गवर्नमेंट बिल्कुल क्लियर ओपन नहीं है। आज हम लोग बाहर रहते हैं, हमारे जितने एम्बेसडर राजदूत वहाँ रहते हैं, उन लोगों को उनकी ड्यूटी मालूम नहीं है, और हम अगर पूछना चाहें तो वहाँ मालूम पड़ती नहीं है। अभी जैसा आप लोग बताए, किसको मालूम है कि अगर एम्बेसडर बाहर है किसी कंट्री में, 3 या 2 जो भी उसके मेन एम्बेसडर जो हैं, 24 आवर्स उनको मोबाइल खुला रखना पड़ता है और वीकली वो चेंज करते हैं। अब मैं यहाँ हांगकांग गया, शाम को 6 बजे बाद में कोई परेशानी हो गई, हम लोग किसी से कंप्लेन नहीं कर सकते। तो जितनी भी गलत भ्रांतियां जो है वो हमारे शासन तंत्र में है। और जैसे अभी गुरिंदर सिंह जी की यहाँ डेटाबेस की बात आई, आप ये देखिए गुरिंदर जी जो काम कर रहे हैं, वॉट एवर इट इज डूइंग, धंधे में सबसे बड़ी बात होती है पहचान की। आपको बंच मिलता है, पहचान मिलती है। जिन लोगों को नाम नहीं आता वो उसका क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं। ये गुरिंदर सिंह जी या एनआरआई इंटरनेशनल कांग्रेस, वो क्या सिर्फ हर आदमी को अवार्ड बांटने में बैठी है? उनका खुद का संगठन एनजीओ चलता है जिसके थ्रू वो काम करते हैं, लोगों को चुनते हैं, मिलाते हैं। आज अपन इतना धंधा करते हैं, कौन आदमी किसी को एक दूसरे को इंट्रोड्यूस कराता है? अभी आप सब लोगों को इंट्रोड्यूस कराने का मैं सारा हक गुरिंदर जी को देता हूँ। मैं आपसे मिला गुरिंदर जी के थ्रू, उस साइट के ऊपर में जो इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं आती है उसमें कहीं आप देखेंगे तो रॉन्ग कमेंट्स लिखे होंगे, जैसा आपने देखा। लोगों का दिमाग इतना कचरे से भरा हुआ है कि मंच पर आने के लिए वो अपने बात किसी को शेयर नहीं करते, सिर्फ दूसरी की बात शेयर करना चाहते हैं। तो जिन लोगों ने इनसे कनेक्शन रखा, उन लोगों को सबको मालूम है कि किस तरह से आपको अच्छे आदमी जानने को मिले। हो सकता है कि क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड थोड़ा बहुत 19-20 हो, लेकिन बिना क्वालिटी का कोई भी आदमी हिंद रत्न अवार्ड नहीं पाता है। हम सबको मिलकर इनका धन्यवाद देना चाहिए। डेटाबेस अब लगते हैं, हम डेटाबेस रखने की बात करते हैं, डेटाबेस चोरी हो जाते हैं। कोई किसी को सपोर्ट करना नहीं चाहता। आप देखिए अभी अपन बैठे हैं सब, राइट? मेरे को आप सब लोगों से क्यों मिलना? आप भी बात सुन रहे हैं मेरी, या मैं आप लोगों की क्यों सुनी? गुरिंदर जी की वजह से। किसी ने कोई सोर्स दिया, धंधे के अंदर में आप बिजनेस करते हैं, किसी ने एक पार्टी का नाम बताया, आप कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच जाते हैं। गुजराती में एक कहावत है, उल खान सोनारी खान। उल खान मतलब पहचान, गोल्ड की माइन है। हमारे गुरिंदर सिंह जी ये इसी, मतलब मैं तो इनका धर्म मानता हूँ। ये जो लोग इन पे गलत कमेंट करते हैं, गलत, उस साइट में व्यूज़ है कोई भी दे सकता है, उसमें कई जगह ऐसे गलत भी लिखा है कि ये ऐसा देते हैं, लेकिन देने के बाद में भी जो आदमी नहीं पा रहा सिर्फ वही ये कर रहा है। इतने बड़े मंच पर आना, बुलाना, सम्मान करना और सबको एक दूसरे, आप गुरिंदर सिंह जी को हमेशा देखेंगे, किसी से आप मिलो, अपना एक्सचेंज करो नेम कार्ड, वेरी इजी। यहाँ जितने बैठे उन लोगों से मैं स्पेशली ये कहना चाहूँगा कि आप इन सब अपने कमेंट्स को इनकी वेबसाइट पर भेजें। आपके कमेंट से ये स्ट्रांग होंगे तो जो लोग गलत बात कर रहे हैं वो बंद हो जाएंगे। ये सपोर्ट करके इकट्ठा करते हैं और लोग इनको बदनाम करने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो ये जो भाई साहब, सॉरी अगर आपको कुछ बुरा लगा हो तो, लेकिन इट इज़ अ वेरी वंडरफुल स्टेज, नॉट इवन NRI और वॉट एवर, यू शुड हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हम एक दूसरे से मिलते हैं, पहचान बढ़ती है। आप सिर्फ यहाँ खाना खाने के लिए या अवार्ड लेने के लिए नहीं आए हैं, अपने कनेक्शन बेटर करने के लिए आए हैं। बुराई अपने माँ बाप में भी लोग निकाल देते हैं, लेकिन माँ बाप ही होते हैं। तो जो आदमी आपका इंटरेक्शन कराता है, दूसरों से मिलाता है, कितनी मेहनत ये करते हैं, ये तो यही जानते हैं। बड़े नेताओं को मंच पर लाना, उनका निकल जाना, फेस करना, ये सब मैं तो तहे दिल से कहता हूं कि गुरिंदर सिंह जी इज द ग्रेट. All the people who knew them, please give them the big hand and write by your own on the site that Gurinder is doing very good. So give them the little slap to ignore them.